they have this kind of sound of this recording playing all the time, 24/7. They have to get used to it. It's insane. I made it on purpose this morning to not have any video to edit because I want to focus on my trading. And I'm going to find a place to go work. And as I told you guys in the video last week, I'm going back to demo for one strategy. So we'll do that this morning and I'll show you guys the behind the scene. So I came back here to the room for a coaching call I had scheduled this afternoon, and I want to go back on the training session that I just did. It's been like so. I didn't feel like recording the whole thing, and that's why I'm doing kind of a review on that thing. So I've been looking at the chart, I've been following the chart, and as I said, my goal is really to do kind of a little bit of multitasking if you wish, and I don't agree with the idea of multitasking, but according to Tim's site, that's possible, so we'll try it out.
Sometimes if we do an interview like near the market open, I try and challenge myself and I do an interview and I stock trade. It's not an easy thing to try and multitask, but I think that it's very good skill to pick up and it makes it more interesting.
There's been no trade set up on AUDJPY, which is the pair I traded this morning. It's been in the range and it didn't really break out, so that makes it really impossible to trade. But I'm still trying to figure out how to code the alert, which is going to be interesting to see. I really want to make this like hands-free where I'll have to look at the chart. I'll just have to wait for the alert and place a trade whenever I need to. But that's something that's going to be interesting.
You know, I've made trades from trains in Portugal where I had Wi-Fi at the top of the hill and then no Wi-Fi at the bottom of the hill.
And I've been also testing some variation of the strategy. So things like considering the hammer instead of the engulfing candle, see if it would be the same reliability. And it's very different. The results are completely different. Like the hammer is a losing strategy overall, and the engulfing candle is a winning strategy, which is interesting. Now I gotta go change money because I don't have any more money and I don't want to withdraw, but I have some money left over from other countries which I want to change. And let's go do that. I hope it's gonna be simple. But with that weather outside, worst time ever to go out right now. Alright, I think we made it. That really took like 20 minutes to exchange some money. A lot of formalities here. So I still got a lot of work to do, but I'm a big believer in trying to explore every single day that I'm here. So I'll try to walk in a direction I've never been to, see what we come across. Look at that river, there's kind of a big wooden bridge on there and that's beautiful. It looks like there's a big difference between this place right here, where like all the circulation is and all the local stuff. There's even a big like cineplex or cinema where you can watch movies and stuff, a big commercial center. And the other side is really different, like these small houses, not much. That's probably where more local people live, I think. We've got these cars that go through the streets all day, trying to sell like different food, different like, I think this one is like egg, something similar, which I don't know exactly what it is, but they have this kind of sound of this recording playing all the time, 24/7. They have to get used to it. It's insane. But a good point is you cannot miss them. You're always gonna get your egg on time. Time for some books. Look at all these motorbikes. Incredible. got back in some way to the same market I went to a couple of days ago and bought all the snacks and tea and stuff. It's pretty big, bigger than I thought. Look at that. That's like only one alley. It's incredible. And there's this half and this other half. I was working in one of these coffee shops on the side of the road to pass the heat that's always the case in the afternoon, and now it's time to go back. Now, because I don't want to talk about my trading all day, and I think that's going to be kind of useful for you guys, I came across this idea a couple of times and I thought I would share. I don't think I've shared this before in the past. A lot of people want to experience what we would call kind of stress-free trading, where you just trade and you're stress-free. That is possible. I don't think you have to be stressed when you trade, but most often than not, stress comes from the fact that you're not prepared enough or you're trying to go too fast. It's like you're trying to get somewhere in a motorbike at the same speed you would get to that place in plane. And that's exactly what it is. So there's this principle of earning the right to trade and earning the right to put the position size on your trade. So I was first introduced to this by Michael Thomas, who talked about a graduation plan. The fact that you start to one place and then you move over time, but you don't start like full all in with your full risk. That's not a long-term profitable to do it. That's called gambling, and we don't want to gamble here. You go over time, and the more you do things right, the more you act properly in your trade, you can increase and you kind of graduate and become a better and better and better. And I love the term graduation plan. Same thing as in school. You don't start learning things from like a doctorate degree. You start from the bottom and you start with things that are easy to understand that you can catch. And they're like a little bit of a stretch, right? They're not too simple to where you're kind of bored. And it's not like we're gonna tell you, you've traded 5 years, so you'll trade demo. No, not really. That's not the point. It's a little bit of a stretch, because the stretch allows you to grow. No stretch, you stay at the same place. But too big of a stretch, and poof, it breaks, and then you fall back. And that's not what we want. So you increase that over time. And I was listening to an audiobook. This is probably my favorite trading psychology or trading book in general, called The Daily Trading Coach, I believe. I've talked about that book multiple times, but if you guys didn't get it, just get it. It's 100% worth it. It talks about the same principle of understanding where you are at right now. And as you go, as you become better, then you can start to add positions, start to add to your contract size or lot size in trading. And we don't want to go too far into the risk. Like you never want to have a risk of ruin that's too big, bigger than zero. But you are still able to increase. So let's say you go from 0.1% per trade, and this is very minimal, to like 2% per trade. Okay, that's going to take some time. But if you start at 2% from day one, you're probably going to crash. Or you're going to have this big drawdown that you cannot sustain. And then you have to go back to me or someone else to help you get back on track because you lost confidence. Okay, that's what happens all the time. So if you want to do it the right way, and if you want to have stress-free trading, try to stretch a little bit so you can grow, but don't stretch too much. And don't go too fast, because when you go fast, we're stressed, and that's typical. And what happens if you try to run a motorbike at the same speed of a plane? You're probably going to crash, or a motorbike is going to break. And that's not what you want. So super hungry right now, gonna grab a dinner. I think I'll bring you guys with me, so let's go. So that's about it for today, guys. There's not much happening around here except the parties and stuff, which I'm not too into when you want to work. It's getting a little bit repetitive, but that's probably a sign that I have to leave and go to a new place, which is happening soon. That's the good news. If you have any question, any comment, just comment below. Any thought, I always appreciate a lot. Give a like if you enjoyed the video today, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Ciao.